Are there any other board members who wish to speak? If not, I just want to try and frame a few issues that are before us today, and then we'll call for a vote. The first issue is...
Can you get this camera moved back a little bit?
Sure, of course. Thank you. Okay. The first issue is there's been a question of why we need change. Is change really needed, and why didn't we continue with the status quo? And the fact is that there's a law when it comes to auditors. I'm sorry, you'll have to correct me with the amount of years. I believe an auditor cannot serve the district for more than 3 years because a fresh face has to come before the district. Is that right? 3 years or 5 years?
3 to 5.
3 to 5 years, okay. So there is an element of recognition in whatever anybody does that even if the person is a perfect, he serves the district and does everything that you ask. When you're dealing with issues that are subjective and require opinion, that after a while status quo just doesn't work because you don't get a fresh opinion, and you have, going forward, you need to get advice that's fresh. Now, could you bring back another attorney or another auditor after a period of time of a different auditor? You can do that. But there always has to be a time where you get a fresh set of facts put before you that you can judge. And with the attorney, it's no different. This doesn't matter if you take Minerva D'agostino or any of the other people that are there. But the fact is, change is needed. The second... The second issue, and this is not by any means supporting any candidate, it's just I think the feeling that's out there. The second issue that we should know is that of all the firms that were finalists, 4 firms had school experience. And all 4 firms made great cases for why they should serve this district. They had depth, they had experience, and that was all for it. D'Agostino and all the others too. They all came and showed experience in all matters as they served the district. So really that made it a harder decision for this board because presentations that were made pretty well. Okay. However, the frustration that sits in this room and that is out there today, in my opinion, is because of a change in the district. When I first... Yes. When I came on this board many years ago, the statistics for special ed for the children in the district, and you can all go back and check it, were that 12% of the students in the public school arena were special education students in some venue. 3% of the private schools at the time were in the special ed venue. And that was a statistic that allowed the district to continue with its status quo. But a number of years ago, students within the district, families decided that they really felt that their children, even though they were special ed students and maybe were going to get standard care or whatever it was, they wanted these students to avail themselves of all the experiences that were available to help their children and to get the placement as the law allowed. And that created an explosion of special ed needs in the district. So when people out there say, why is there an outcry, and what's the difference? Statistically, we are more than double of that 3% today in just a short amount of time, and we're going on 7 or 8%. And if you're going up on those numbers, the fact is there has to be change because there's a different set of needs. It's not about putting a child into a classroom. Again, it doesn't matter which of the 4 firms you choose. The school district has changed needs. That is a change. A more than doubling of the students from the private school, which is, by the way, that percentage, remember that there's about 17,000 private school students and about 8,000 public school students. So that's a huge number of an increase for which really a lot of people feel we haven't appropriately developed programs for all of these students to be. And that's why there's an outcry to make a change. Again, that doesn't matter which of the 4 remaining firms you choose. The fact is that's why it's out there. This isn't an adversarial hearing. This isn't the hearing where somebody says, I want to control the district because I have more votes. It's an outcry for the proper placement of the students that they feel they really haven't gotten it. And there's nothing wrong, because we are here for all the children. We have to educate all the children, and that means a special ed student in this district, no matter from what venue you come from, is entitled to the very same care as children from other venues. And that is taking up this amount of time at every meeting. Okay, that's all I have to say. At this time, there's... At this time, Mr. Price?
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Rothschild, thank you very much. And I do agree with quite a bit of what you said. I know there's a tremendous need in the district, and I fully support providing all the appropriate services for all the children of the district, public and private, special needs, and the balance of our population, but particularly the special needs students. And I fully appreciate the effort of special needs parents that come and speak to the board. That being said, and like I said, I do agree with much of what you said. My only reason for voting no this evening on this proposal is just because I don't understand how we're going to pay for it. I know I recognize Mr. Stone's comments, but I do know that any way we look at it, this is a more expensive option, and I know we don't have the money in the budget. And I don't see where this is going as far as budgetary, how we're going to pay for it.
So I just...
I think so, yeah. But they're all more expensive.
So just again to clarify, we had been paying a very low rate to at least one of the former people who represented the district and who chose not to apply again. But of the proposals we have, I think the lowest proposal we had was $175 an hour, and the others were at the $200 range also. So we don't have a proposal today for which we can say monetarily the district can afford a better $120 an hour than the $200. If such a proposal sat before us, then we ought to deal with it. But that proposal does not sit before us, and therefore it's not something
Thank you very much.
Okay, is there any other comment? Seeing as there's no other comment, I'm going to call for the motion at this time. All those who are in favor of Mr. D'Agostino's firm, Minerva D'agostino, please indicate at the proposed rates to represent the school district from now through the reorganization in July. Please indicate by raising your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The motion is 5-4, and it passes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the next part of our meeting. The next part of our meeting is from the superintendent. Is Mr. D'Agostino present? He's at the door. Mr. D'Agostino?
He's here.
Okay, Dr. Ostacher.